Hey YouTube, Ben here. Well, recently I did a poll on Facebook, well, a couple weeks ago, and the question was, do you always wear a uniform or do you prefer street attire? Well, 30% of the people answered that they always wear a uniform. 70% answered, I prefer street attire. Well, there's pros and cons to both. Now you see I'm geared up tonight because I'm rolling by myself. It's the middle of the night, and you know, I like to, when I'm rolling out at night, I like who I am to be so painfully obvious that if I get shot at, it's not because they didn't know who I was. So, and especially if cops get called and they show up, they can at least pick me out, the good guys from the bad guys, if things go south. So a lot of people, and myself included, might think this is a little much. You know, it's on the edge of being tactical, and maybe it's way into being tactical in some people's opinions. I don't think so. It's a bulletproof vest. You know, everybody should wear one when they go out. I've got easy access to my taser, and I've got identifying patches on the front and back, on the sleeves, and I usually wear a hat. I've got my radio here that when I have a partner with me, they have a radio too, and we use these cheap little Bofang radios. I'm not going to pull it out, it's a pain in the neck. Anyway, they're good little radios for what they do. They're cheap. If they get broken, you just buy a new one. It's like 20 bucks. Anyway, they work well. Got my duty belt, you know, handcuffs in the front, pistol. I've got a new holster coming, extra mags. I've got 2 mags on my vest too, but only because I had the case. I normally wouldn't carry 4 mags. I think that's a little excessive, but you know, who cares? I got my flashlight holder. It's a cheap one. I got a good one coming in the mail with my holster. It's a little embarrassing showing. Anyway, so I like to wear a uniform when I'm rolling out at night. During the day, I like to wear plain clothes, street attire. I like to drive my old truck. Well, my old truck's broke down right now, but when it's back running, I prefer to drive it because it don't stand out. Wear a badge around my neck, usually under my shirt. But during the day, I feel like that's more appropriate, more laid back. My gun is under my shirt. I can walk up to a door and knock on it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and nobody's going to think anything of it. But there's a big difference between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 2 o'clock in the morning. You walk up to a house where we live at 2 o'clock in the morning in plain clothes, then you're likely to get met with some aggression, or at the very least the cops called on you. I've had guns pulled on me. I've had all kind of crazy crap happen from knocking on doors or even walking through a yard at 2 o'clock in the morning. So when I roll at night, this is how I dress. When I roll during the day, normally I'm dressed way down. I might even still be wearing my identifying shirt during the day. It depends on what I'm doing, where I'm going. You know, if I'm going into an area where I don't necessarily want people to see who I am and what I do, then I definitely don't wear anything identifying. But if I'm going into an area where I don't care if they see who I am and what I do, then I'll wear one of these shirts. I mean, there's so many different what ifs. I'll do this, I'll do that. But I have one, one definite. In the middle of the night, I'm in some sort of uniform. It's clearly visible. People say, oh, it's cop wannabe and tactical and this and that. Well, that's fine. It's equipment. It's equipment that's pertinent to the job. I don't really care how you feel about it. My number one goal is to go home to my family when I'm done. And if carrying the same kind of equipment that law enforcement does is what makes that happen, then that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, it's my little opinions on uniform versus no uniform. Take it how you will. Anyway, Ben the Bondsman signing out. Remember, Bell binding isn't what we do, it's who we are.